Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Krista. I'm the author of The Radical Angel, A True Story. Please find links to my ebook, my social media sites, and a link to find your birth chart in full in the description box. You can contact me for personal readings through my social media until my website is live at the end of June. And this reading is for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. If you find that there's not a lot that's resonating here, for your sun sign, do check your moon and rising by checking the Always Astrology link to find out your moon and rising, and that may help clarify things for you a little better. I'm using 3 decks today. I'm using the medicine cards with the totem animals, the Wisdom of the Oracle cards, and the Angel Oracle cards. I'm doing 3 card spreads with the back of the deck for general energy, and the reading is for the week of April 8th to the 14th. Forgive me for putting this up a day late. I'm going to have a central issue for both of these decks and 2 clarifiers on either side, and without further ado, let's begin. So I wish for Leo all success, joy, and wellness. I invoke spirits of love, light, and beauty. I call upon Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. I ask Gaia to bless this reading. So we're looking for general messages for the sign of Leo for the week of April 8th to April 14th. And the first card that jumps out will be your central card. Your central card is Elk. I believe Elk's keyword is stamina. And it's also the number 3. And I interpret numerology as well. So any derivative of 3, so 3, 6, 9, 12, for example, are spiritual numbers. So looks like you're going to be spending the next week delving into the world of the spirit or your spiritual life, or even having questions about it, or contemplating it, or having something introduced to you, for example. And the card qualifying to the right is Mouse, which I believe is scrutiny. I will look up the clarifiers in the book for you to get additional information. And its number is 2, which is a foundation number. It's also partnerships, so it could be love, business. So scrutiny of your spiritual world regarding partnerships or relationships. And then 14 is the number of the card to the left, the clarifier to the left, which is the dog, and its keyword is loyalty. And on the back of the deck, you have 11, Moose. 11 is spiritual awareness. And let me look at the book to get the keyword for the moose so I don't mess that up. And I'll be showing you the cards up close in just a moment, so let's get this shuffled out. And again, we're going to do the same type of spread. A central card with 2 clarifiers on either side. And then we'll look at the back of the deck for the general energy for the week. We're looking for general messages for Leo the week of April 8th to the 14th. And at the end of the reading, what I'll do is I'll shuffle the Angel Oracle cards and get any additional guidance or messages from the angels. There we are. So your central card is To the Sea, number 7. 7's number is magic. So magic is something that you can manipulate or will be manipulated for you, but it's something that can change. It's not static. It's also anything that's magic is wondrous as well. So this could be an element of wonder for you. Again, we're looking for qualifiers to the central card regarding general messages for Leo for the week of April 8th to the 14th. And then to the right clarifier of number 7 is 24, which numerology is 6, is time for a nap. So you're looking at spiritual messages there. And we're just looking for one more qualifier for the sign of Leo. And then we have to the qualifier to the left of to the sea is card number 6, meaning not for you. So let's dive into this. See what the general messages are. And at the bottom of the deck is the card Round and Round, which is number 25 rather. So again, we're looking at 2 7s, so lots of magic surrounding you. So the 2 central cards are the Elk and To the Sea. So like I said, let's look up the general messages that the authors wrote about the cards before we look at the illustration. And I encourage you, the listener, to use your intuition when listening to any words or concepts or illustrations within the cards. Anything that appeals to you or speaks to you, whether or not I'm relaying it explicitly, I would follow your intuition is what I'm trying to say there. So if there's something you're seeing that I'm not, follow your intuition as a guide to that. So Elk, stamina. Elk is a curious energy because they honor the company of their own gender, except at mating time. So whether you're a man or a woman, this could be, and again on a spiritual level, so this could be something that you're finding within your group of friends. It doesn't have to be a spiritual group, but it could be a peer group that you're finding you're more and more attracted to members of your own gender. And that's gender, however you define that for yourself. So, or you may be getting more in tune with what that means to you. So for example, for a woman, it would mean becoming more in tune with things that are typically feminine. So, and I mean in astrological terms. So the moon, the home, mother, these types of things. If you're a man, for example, more of the masculine things. So the sun, and you are Leo, which is ruled by the sun. So this could be you, or it could be someone around you, or just a flat out energy that's around you or available to you. And again, I'm going to draw your attention to the 3 because it is a very spiritual card. So you could even say that this is a sun god or a sun goddess. And very powerful. And stamina, I'm telling you, right up there with patience, it'll get you anywhere. So this is saying, right off the bat, don't slow down. There's no need to slow down necessarily. You may not be the first one to arrive at something. You may need to examine, as we look at this card a little bit, which is scrutiny. You may need to even slow down and spend a little bit more time examining something. At this juncture, the spirits are asking you not to hurry towards something, that this is worth taking your time a little bit. You don't have to be first, but when you arrive, you won't be burned out. You could also be at a position in your life where you have to examine the stresses in your life and pace yourself. And this is interesting too, because we're looking at underneath to the right of that, a time for a nap, which is literally rest. So this could just be very well a moment for you, a week for you, where you just need to zen out and relax a little bit about whatever query or question or problem that you have. Maybe even take a step back. 20, the mouse to the right of you, is its keyword is scrutiny. Now, this could work in your favor, of course. Anything regarding critical thinking, for example, is a bonus. This will work in your favor. And next to stamina, it's saying, take it easy. You can be that scrutinizing person. You can look up close, but you don't have to be in a hurry to do it. In fact, it might benefit you not to be in a hurry to do it. So let's look at some of the other major terms that the authors wrote about. Mouse says they're in touch with everything. They have so many predators that they need to be almost on high alert all the time. Things that are insignificant to others take on enormous importance to mouse. So this issue or question or query of yours for the next week could be something that no one else even knows about, that this is unique to you. And you may be, like I said at the beginning, you may be turning to members of your own gender for answers or for insight because this may be new to you or you don't know where to turn next. And its essence is to create order and not to be fixated on fear because this totem animal does have many predators. It doesn't mean that you have to live in fear. It means that you need to compartmentalize and be aware more than fearful. It's asking that you scrutinize and to see what is right before your eyes. So again, this is something that is already available to you, that is inherent to you, that you don't need to rush about or be concerned about. You just need to draw upon, in maybe with a light touch or in a light way. So to the left of the central issue card, being stamina, is the dog. And dog's keyword is loyalty. Number 5 is a foundational card. 1 and 4 is numerologically number 5. So we're looking at your foundation. The dog is basically asking, under its keyword loyalty, basically, what are you loyal to? Who are you loyal to? That's its key concept, especially based next to and in between both elk and moose. These are very powerful animals, woodland animals. What are you loyal to? Who are you loyal to, and why? You might even ask at this stage too, when you're doing some scrutinizing and some looking at some deeper issues in your life, why? Why are you loyal to something or someone, and why someone is loyal to you? Again, not to be critical for the sake of criticizing, but to be a critical thinker, to get to the bottom of, excuse me, maybe an ongoing question or concern. So let's just look at any terms that this may be bringing up. They are the servant of humanity and seeking to serve in some way, the charity worker, philanthropist, the nurse, etc. So you may be, and no real surprise to anyone who knows a Leo, you are usually going to be the first one to come to someone's rescue. So maybe just examine if this is an ongoing thing, if you're constantly coming to someone's rescue or if someone's constantly coming to yours, and why that's happening. So let's just, over the next week or so, maybe just examine what that means for you. And the overall energy for the week in relation to the top spread is 11. And let's just look at Moose's keyword, which is self-esteem. Okay, so this is lovely. So I'm going to stick to the major obvious premise here, which is this is something that's affecting you distinctly. This positions that you're taking, scrutinizing that you're doing, questions that you're asking about where you belong or people in your life belong. And some of the other major terms related to Moose is to tell the world about your joyfulness and accomplishments. Self-esteem, it's what you're proud of. It's what you feel is well done. So again, not too surprising to see this in the spread of a Leo. And I don't feel in any way that anything is being taken from you or withdrawn from you. This is a place where Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising is going to find general contentedness anyway, is their own sense of self-esteem. You don't really need a whole lot of validation from other people or from other groups even. So yeah, I would keep relying on yourself, but still ask those questions about loyalties, and keep putting yourself first. Not in a prideful way, but in a peaceful way, in a place where if you're at peace, you're going to be able to offer peace. So it's asking you to write down things you love about yourself and your progress in life, and that you have a reason to feel good about something. So this is a time basically for celebration, even if you are trying to get to the bottom of something in your life. And again, this can apply to, and please apply it to anything that's pertinent to your life at this time for the next week. So that could be business relations, romance, travel, inner seeking, however this feels to you when you hear it is how I encourage you to approach it. So let's look at the bottom row here. We've got To the Sea is the central card. And to the right as a clarifier is Time for a Nap. And then to the left as a clarifier is Not for You. And then the overall energy for this row is Round and Round. So let's examine some of the terminology from the authors for To the Sea. This deck, well, all of the decks that I use have gorgeous artwork, but the Wisdom of the Oracle cards is really beautiful, so I can hope you can see this all right. This is a woman on her own at sea. She's not sad, but she is contemplating. And they are calm waters, but they are deep waters. So there could be a lot of emotion involved here and even some solitude. While you're seeking connections with others, I think this is asking for you as well to find a balance, frankly, to find, because I can see, you know, there's bottom, there's top. So find the balance between always seeking from others or being critical, a critical thinker, as opposed to maybe letting things just rest, just sit for the time being and stop struggling. So I'm just going to look at some keywords for To the Sea, which is number 7. Being in flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. So again, this is really just getting to the source of yourself, and I would suggest just by staying still, just letting it be, as good old Beatles song said. But really, if you find yourself struggling with something, especially emotional, do yourself a favor, trust that you're going to figure it out, trust in the highest good, and just let it be. Just, you know what, give it away for the time being. And you'll be served by that, I believe, for the next week. The clarifier to the right is Time for a Nap. Again, I think this is pretty obvious in terms of language, but we've got the moon resting with this gorgeous little fox having a nap right in its belly. So just gorgeous. And there's also a lot of golden colors here. So even for this being a nighttime type card, this is something, gold is associated with Leo. So your time for a nap may not necessarily be a physical one. So let's look at some of the keywords around number 24. Rest, rejuvenation and renewal, temporary non-action, allowing dreams to arise. So fitting in with the number 7, which is basically just letting it be. This is literally taking a rest. So on an emotional level, stop straining yourself. Let things be for the time being. Have faith in yourself. And if you must, instead of internalizing or keeping quiet about some of the concerns you have, reach out to others in a calm way while examining if you even have to do that. Do you need to keep turning to others? Is it something you can do on your own? Are you loyal to an idea or to a concept or to a feeling, even though it works against you? So these are just some questions to ask. And the qualifier to the left of To the Sea is not for you. So we're looking at number 6 here. And there is this lovely chessboard, just sort of suspended in air. And there is a fortune cookie in the center and a window in the background that is unopened at the time being. So again, let's just look at some keywords for number 6. And we'll figure out what not for you means in this row. A clear knowing that something is being denied you. Rejection is God's protection. Again, I'm going to suggest that this is an emotional matter, whatever that means to you, and that even though your self-esteem may be taking a hit right now, or you may feel that it's taking a hit, you have never looked for validation before, this is maybe a new playing field for you. This is saying that it's for your higher good, it's for your best interest, that what you think you want or what you think you're after or what you think you know could be released to your benefit. There's nothing saying that you need to give something up or something has to go to the wayside. It just means that what you think might be best for you or what has been promised to you or what you thought you were loyal to or something that was loyal to you won't come through, but it won't, crash anything for you. It might even give you an aha moment where you say, oh, I thought the worst was going to happen, or I thought that was, really going to pull me apart, but it turns out it was for the best, and I can see that now. So this week might bring you a revelation of sorts. And finally, let's look at the card Round and Round. So this is a gorgeous spiral inside a seashell. And there's always faces in these cards. They're sort of hidden in them, but this has the face hidden within the spiral. And Round, without reading the language that the authors wrote, is really something to me that just sounds like maybe something that happens over and over and over, or that you're revisiting, perhaps even unnecessarily. So let's look at that. It's also number 25, which is 7 in numerology. And again, this is a card of magic. So it's something that you have direct control over, or the elements have control over, so other entities. So be aware of that you can take control of this just as easily as other entities can. And its essential meaning is the spiral quality of events. When a lesson isn't quite integrated, cycles you are challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective. So this is brilliant, in fact, next to the Not For You card. This is really giving you an indication that something that you thought was working for you, or a lesson you thought that you had figured out, or a challenge that you thought you were figuring out, it isn't going to work out the way you want it to. You need to rest from it. You need to put it aside for the moment. It's not for you. And this is challenging you to view this issue from another perspective. And in fact, it might even be asking you at this time more than ever to draw upon your self-esteem, to not be sort of feel that you're, being shaved away, or you're being discarded, or that the idea itself is to be discarded. It just means that you may need to look at this in a different way, or ask another question, or look at the agenda or your viewpoint from another perspective. So none of this is really destructive, but there is a lot of rest cards here, and accepting that you have to just accept things for what they are, and to examine why this might be revisiting itself in your life. So let's take one card out of the Angel of the Oracle for any additional messages for our Leo. And Friendship. Friendship is another gorgeous card, although this has sort of a double meaning. It doesn't necessarily mean the friends in your life and you just have a flawless relationship, especially when you're seeking out ideological partnerships with other people that you have same interests when it comes to gender. But believe it or not, the friendship card really does mean that your friendships could be changing. In fact, because loyalty to the right of stamina could very well mean that some of your friendships will be undergoing changes, that you could be even changing alliances, and that taking a rest period from some of the ongoing or scrutinized messages or concerns in your life could bring about the greatest changes. And this could mean something as simple as this friendship or this loyalty to someone might have to change in order for you to maintain your self-esteem and to stop revisiting things, round and around, over and over and over. Like, how long are you going to do this type thing? So this is the final message from the Angel of the Oracle cards for your spread for the week of the 8th until the 14th. I really hope you enjoyed this reading, Leo, and I look forward to seeing you next week for your weekly reading. Take care.